Inferno, to be honest. It is, of course, classic Counter-Strike Mirage. So let's get started. Already, IGK has brought up the utility, grenade, flash, smoke, and it's going to be a complete ditto for Kagartex as we start off this decider.
I am very excited to see how this map goes. I think Mirage really shows, which teams are maybe just slightly better than the other ones. It's just like Dust 2, such a classic, such a staple of every single region's CS that it really is where teams can bring definition to the game, where they can really show what they have to offer. And what Paquetá have to offer in this round is a fake towards the B site, a double nade, does not hit its mark. JNT is just a little too far back, but he will find a tap, and that's actually going to call these players off of the B site. Reelsin is alone on the site, and he will get taken down by Nithon, so this is a clean bomb plant for the side of Paquetá.
Yeah, but look at Zevi. He's fasting on this flank, but he's getting flanked as well. So the flank is flanking the flanker. Is that a sentence that works? I don't know.
I think so.
But it's a 4 versus 4. And they don't have the defuse get picked up. Zevi gets one, but he will surely get caught off soon. No, he gets the second anyway. And JNT does great work to take down Nithon. It's all down to Destiny. And JNT will get the last as well. So many flanks on flanks, but in the end, it will be Sharks to steal that pistol away. I was surprised, honestly. It was so easy for Paquetá to get towards the site. Reelsin, of course, was jump spotting, but with no armor and that utility, he was very squishy. So he was dealt with quickly. But in the end, it does not matter.
Yeah, Sharks, they find, I want to say either their first or second pistol so far in the best of 3 out of 5 so far. So that is definitely a good start for them. Could be one of the first times that they get off to a real strong start on a map. They're usually a lot stronger when it comes to the second half. And so on and so forth, but their beginnings have been a little lacking. Usually Paquetá take the first 2 to 3 rounds, so Sharks definitely in a good position to take the first initial lead that we've seen out of them, but it's going to be Lukosi to go ahead and bring the lead in this round. 1-2 for him in mid, and Pank is there to support with a third. Kagartex is tagged down low.
Yeah, and that basically means this round's, to be honest, pretty much over. I mean, of course, you've got Luko and Zevi on a combined 11 HP, so, it's not ideal. And actually, IDK has managed to take down Pank, and there we go. So, Pank is one of the high HP players. That actually recovers it into a doable situation because he's picked up the Org as well. Kagartex is lurking in through Palace. If he doesn't get caught out, okay. IDK's now got a one with the Org too, taking down Reelsin. He's recovered this round into an even situation when it looked like it was impossible, but both of them are down low on Paquetá.
Also performing the ultimate fake. There's nothing that sells a site take better than killing all of the players on your way to that site. So as the smoke comes through, JNT is going to consider rotating towards that B site while the bomb creeps its way out towards A. But JNT is actually going to read it and drop the bomb. That changes everything for the Sharks. Now they know where the bomb is. Now they know where the fight is happening. And IDK has 3, but he needs the ace to win this round.
And he needs to somehow get the bomb planted as well. I mean, he's got the Molotov to force players away from jungle, but little does he know that he's not where they're being peeked from. And there's JNT rotated all the way around to CT. 2 important frags for him. Too much damage really taken for Sharks. I'll be a little bit disappointed it wasn't cleaner than that. But still, winning the round is all that matters at this stage because Paquetá will be on a eco here.
Yeah, that is, a very good start for Sharks. The question is, can they keep it up once rifles do finally come out for Paquetá? That'll be after this round, as they are going to be saving into this one a few deagles, 2 of them to be precise, on IDK and Nithon, and Destiny with that good old P250, but I doubt those are really going to get anything done. So round 4 is where we're going to really see the pace start to pick up for this final map. As I say that, though, Pank has taken a little bit of damage in mid from some of these guns, so we'll have to back off just a little bit.
Yeah, this time though, only 1 set of armor on IDK, and that's not even a helmet, just the Kevlar. I would be pretty confident in Sharks taking this one. I wouldn't. I'm not a betting man, but I would probably put a lot of money on this one being pretty safe. Pank does take IDK through the edge of the smoke toward connector, and that basically seals it. David is getting forced away by the grenades and the bullets as well. Pank takes one more. It's just Destiny remaining with the bomb on his back. But I don't think a plant will be possible, to be honest.
Yeah, unless he finds some insane headshots insanely quickly, it is going to be absolutely impossible. And Zevi making sure of that, finding a quick headshot with the AUG. And Sharks 3-0 now on this final map. This is a beautiful beautiful lead that they are starting to take here. Paquetá are going to finally have some rifles, 5 AKs, and almost full utility. I think Mython just missing out on one last grenade. So this is definitely where we're going to see these teams really tested on Mirage.
Yeah, and honestly, when this game started and Sharks had such poor luck and just a poor start on Dust 2, I did not think we'd find ourselves here with them actually in the lead in this series now overall for the first time. So it's swings and roundabouts. It can always happen. Mid control is being fought now for Paquetá with IDK lurking toward A-Ramp. A lot of damage taken by Nestle. The nade will finish him off. Very nicely done. More aggression coming in as well. And Luca even gets a second.
Yeah, that's crazy that Luca is good for that. He just backs off of Cat after finding that kill. And they're trying to hunt him. They're trying to find him sticking around Cat, but he's already back on the B site completely. Actually, excuse me, he did get that kill towards the B site, and they were hoping that he would over-aggress towards Cat after that. But these Shark players are very good at just being patient, holding their tongue, and waiting for the aggression to come their way.
Yeah, it's going to be curious to see what you can do now in this situation. IDK's been king of recovering situations, though. He's doing it yet again. Zevigos gets 2 frags, though. Mython taking Realton in the meantime means that now it is down to the aforementioned IDK, and he picks into both players towards short. So, yeah, that's not going to be going in your favor, despite the fact he's been trading back so successfully so far.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, a pretty difficult peak to win. Both of them were literally lined up with Augs there. They both go for the kill, and Lukosi is the one who finds it, but another clean round from Sharks. That's really what they needed going into that, and they are going to call the tactical timeout. The good old tactical after we win a round that Sharks know and love.
Yeah, and with Paquetá down to the pistols once again, honestly, does it matter anymore? Because Paquetá, they've done so many things in this game with pistols, which are just unbelievably dirty. I mean, IDK got 2 frags back and then picked up the org and got another one and made that previous round possible. But in the end, HPs were just too low. Again, got 2 frags back on the AK, even though he was low, and got stopped at the last second. So he's trying his best right now, but at the moment, Paquetá still yet to get off the mark. And this could be a really important start for Sharks. I would say that Mirage is perhaps ever so slightly T-sided. I would say it's maybe just as even as Nuke is really these days. But yeah, it's a tough one, and we'll get to see how this damage really is the order of the day here on this round for Paquetá.
Yeah, I would say that honestly, Mirage is probably the most balanced map in the entire map pool when it comes to it being T-sided or CT-sided, because I would still argue that Dust 2 is maybe like a little bit T-sided, and that's the only one I can think rivals its closeness. So I think Mirage really is the closest thing we have to a true even on both sides map, and I think that's really just because of both how old it is and how used to it people are, and also just kind of how puggy most of the playstyles on this map go.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there. I completely agree. I mean, I used to think it was the most overplayed map, in just Counter-Strike in general, not just professional Counter-Strike. I've grown to like it a little bit more recently because we've seen some absolute banger professional matches on this map. But still, I would like to see, the next time we get a map change, I would like to see this map removed. Sure, it is the stalwart of the pool, but still. Either this or Dust 2. I would say maybe either edit Dust 2 or remove it, or remove Mirage, rework it, and bring something in like one of the reworked Tuscan, something like that. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. We're going to be walking in toward B here with the bomb. IDK has been spotted out by Reels, and he's getting shot from 2 different angles, so I very much doubt a plant will be possible. It's another nice frag from Destiny, though, in return. If they can get this frag toward Luca, it'll be possible, but in the end, it's just a 1-for-1, so it might be a chance to get the bomb planted. I think he just can't do it. I think he's a bit too far away from that position, and yeah, JNT will take him down. So, clean sheet remains intact, and Paquetá now have a full buy available.
Yeah, that was... it looked like it could have been something for a second for Paquetá. They found a site with only 1 player on it and 1 player on the window who missed a couple sprays onto those players, so that was definitely the best chance that they would have gotten considering the time and the buy they had. So, good try from them, but sadly it was not in the cards. This one, though, they are going to have another full buy. Last time we saw them have a full buy was 2 rounds ago. and it didn't quite go well for them. In fact, it was a pretty disastrous round, but they're looking to make this one different as they flash off Zevi from connector.
Yeah, and they need to find a strategy that is successful and successful cleanly as well. I mean, early on in a game like this, Sharks look comfortable. They have, setups that are not breaking right now, but they keep changing them up. So, that's the importance of a CT side. Never play the same position twice. At least try not to. With you in that situation, that is a beautiful entry from Nithon, though, taking down his fellow AWPer in Zevi. And now, some flashes coming in from IDK toward ramp, looking to try and at least form a bit of a distraction.
Yeah, there's so many different angles that Sharks have to be ready for, and Destiny is going to peek out from one of them, gets into window, and wins that fight. JNT, though, is doing some crazy things before he finally falls, gets his head ripped off, and now it's Lukosi alone on the site. He will find the first, jumps up, but gets peeked by not one, but two players, and now Reelsin alone in a 1v2, and he has a lot to get done. He has to wait for this smoke to fade and find whatever angle these two players are playing.
Yeah, and they have both positions basically locked off as well. Reelsin is one of the only players as well without a defuse kit, so that's a bit of a rough situation for him. He is keeping up past connector position now. Destiny's playing it very defensively, letting him come up, so that he has to call out to his teammate David that you have to be careful. David is not aware as of yet as to where Reelsin is. He has picked up the defuse kit, and he has picked up a smoke as well. If he gets his strike toward David, it's possible, but David is too aware, and they will seal their first round of Mirage.
Yeah, that was a very important round because their economy would have been decimated. Yet again, giving Sharks a 6th and a 7th. At that point, it's an insane lead that they really need to battle against. But Sharks, they do have enough money to buy into this one, at least somewhat. We do see Zevi pulling out that op, but waiting on the buys from everyone else. And there you go. I was a little worried that they were just going to, hero op, which would be kind of insane. But no, they pull out a little bit of a scrappy buy. We do see an AUG on one player, FAMAS on another, SMG and Deagle, but Nithon, he doesn't care about that op in mid, or excuse me, that AUG in mid. He's just going to get a kill through a wall onto the player holding window.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. That's 2 hands in a row now. Nithon's been the key opener for Paquetá. He was a little bit, he was the hero for sure on Nuke, despite the fact they were on the losing side. So it's a tough situation for him to come back after putting in such a great performance. And we go toward B, though. David is going to jump out with Destiny. Reelsin gets one on the Deagle, but there's another player on the site to worry about. He does pick up the AK, but Destiny trades it beautifully. Molly's all over the site. Bench, van, default. But I don't think Sharks will be able to do much about it. They've fallen back toward A to save this FAMAS and UMP.
Yeah, the site's gone in seconds. Really not even enough room to think. If Zevi was able to find one with the op there, was able to swivel around fast enough from Cat, there could have been a very different outcome to that round, but sadly it just was not in the cards. It was not meant to be, so they are going to recover that op as well. I think they're just chucking it out of any place that it could be picked up right now, and they are just going to hold on to their AKs and the singular op they have now. So Sharks, that is really going to break their economy as Paquetá, they find their second.
Yeah, and it's not the two best guns to save either, to be honest. I mean, UMP still very good, of course, but these days MP9 is probably king. Doesn't matter, but it's still something to work with. They don't have pistols to drop, so this should be all they have really. They have some utility to work with, so you maybe stack these two guns toward B. Hope Paquetá maybe go toward B, but I think they'll be smart enough to avoid any stacks. So still a tough one.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a third round for Paquetá as well, just because there's really nothing to stop them from taking this. If they decide to just do a normal site take, there's not the utility for any of these players other than maybe JNT with that molly, and there's definitely not the guns for any of these players. So Sharks, unless they get super lucky, this should be a Paquetá round.
Yeah, it's about guessing correctly, and that's good timing. Look at that flash from Reelsin. That completely blindsides Nithon. Thankfully, IDK is there for the instantaneous trade. So, instead of 4 versus 4, aggression toward underpass can always catch out a unsuspecting T. And JNT is here. Has got a free frag toward Kagartex with no damage taken. And we're going to jump out toward B. I mentioned B could be a little bit risky. They have at least cleared it out, though. And they can afford to go for a retake, of course, Sharks. There's no point saving the FAMAS and the USP. Probably will save the AK if you can. But other than that, it's an attempt they can go for.
Yeah, immediately we see the AK that was retrieved being saved, and Reelsin actually got the op. Nithon was the player who was killed by that early peek up towards B, so they are going to hold on to that gun
That's
at
handy.
least. That's a pretty good save for the side of Sharks considering they put nothing into this round. So an AK and an op, that's, I mean, it's a small victory, but a victory nonetheless.
It's a real big victory. I mean, you would not expect to actually get an AWP out of this round. If you look at their economy, it's around 2k per player. They're obviously going to have a loss bonus of second stage, so they get 2400 into this round on top of that. So I don't think they actually would have had an AWP. If not, I mean, obviously Pank can buy one, you can see, but it would have been a glass cannon, and obviously he's not the AWPer of the team. So I reckon they would have gone 5 rifles. But the fact they now have managed to save the AWP is a huge bonus, and it gives them a great shot in this round to stop the 3-win streak of Paquetá.
Yeah, this is where it needs to happen. I mean, if anywhere, if they lose this, other than Zevi and Reels, and there's going to be no money in the next round. And Paquetá, they're just going to keep building up a bank more and more. They do lose about 1 or 2 players every single round that they win, at least. So their economy isn't insane, at least not yet. It's not going completely unchecked, but still not in the best place it could be. Cross through mid. They got to be careful because this is being held a nice one-way for Zevi. No shot comes through, and he's just going to back off of the angle instead. Doesn't want to give away their position, and 2 players in connector are just going to drop another smoke to keep these mid players at bay.
Destiny has crept past that connector smoke, crouching as he does, and then that is very smart. There was some shooting coming in there from a Paquetá teammate to mean Destiny can creep up onto the ledge silently, and their question is, do they know he's here? Kagatex has somehow managed to take Pank through that smoke as well, but Destiny on this ledge has really got behind the enemy lines here. The shooting coming in to mask that jump. That could be the key to get Paquetá their 4th.
Caught looking the wrong way at the last second. JNT shot in the back of the head, had to turn around to check the A site, and this round is all but over as Destiny finds that kill as well. Zevi gonna try to hold for the player coming outside of Palace, but as the clock ticks away and as the site gets taken, this is very dangerous. Destiny is in a great position to punish Zevi for the save as well. Caught looking the wrong way, and now it's Reels in all alone, looking to find at least 1 kill, but Destiny just wants all of the kills for themselves. They are going to find that last player as well in Paquetá. They find an extremely clean 4th. All players alive, no damage taken.
Yeah, that was very solid indeed. I really like the strategy from Paquetá. Obviously, you have to wait out that one-way smoking window as the incendiary will get chucked down to block that, block that window smoke on the corner. So you have that one way as a CT. Waited it out. Had a nice strategy of getting that player into a window, and 2 disgusting shots from Kagatex, to be honest. He had a bit of a rough nuke, so it's nice to see him getting off to a decent start now with those 2 cheeky frags. One was through the smoke, one was a wall bang, but yeah, still. They all count. And it puts Sharks down to another EK once again.
This is dangerous for Sharks. They still have the lead, at least in this round, but just economically speaking, it should be lost and bring us to a 5 versus 5 if Paquetá can close out the this round with a much better buy. Sharks, they did opt for those deagles, though. The money allowed it, so that is still pretty scary for the side of Paquetá. We've seen a lot of extremely important rounds get decided by a pistol buy. I can think of one that possibly happened in our last one. In fact, I would say it was the map-winning round that happened on Nuke that was decided by the pistols of Sharks, so definitely not something to write out, but Panky is going to be out of this round, at least 4 now, as he's taken down by David through the smoke. That will be a kill back for Zevi, though, as his teammate JNT falls on site. Also a molly kill onto Luke Cozy from Kagatex.
They should know where Zevi is as well. He's got that kill. Their call should come through that he's toward ramp here. Destiny is going to go searching for him, but Zevi's holding a very tight angle. There's the information. He will be revealed, and a flash is going to come in to possibly try and clear him out. It would be smart, but Zevi is now going to fall way back with that gun. So looks like he wants to save it. Rosen can obviously afford to go for a duel on the deagle and try and take one more gun away from Paquetá. He actually will do that. Nice shot toward Kagatex, but he's on 8 HP now, so he'll have to fall away as well. So it's going to be an equalising round for Paquetá, up to 5-all. You mentioned earlier about, critical deagle rounds won. We saw those few on Nuke. We saw David getting that deagle round with the ace in the end on Dust 2, which really stopped Paquetá, really stopped Sharks, in their tracks, and gave Paquetá a really easy map 1 victory. So, any sort of round like that can make a huge difference. And it's still important to save, though, for Sharks. Destiny will go down to the bomb, but it doesn't matter too much. The economy is completely out of control, so it's annoying, but it's okay.
That was I don't know why he lost bomb there. I think he was really just hunting for that last player. Wanted to make sure that he didn't give over a gun that could have been saved if there were 2 players there. But it is a little weird to just go down to the bomb there. I guess when your economy's good, go for it. Whatever. But more importantly, it's 5-all across the board. And Sharks, they do have another buy finally. They usually have a buy on, a buy off. And that's a great pick from JNT. Picks up the op. We haven't seen him on the op very often in this best of 3 yet, but using it to find that opener, and the nade is good for damage onto Destiny as well. Zevi is actually going to find the second onto IDK, but Kagatex will finally trade, and Destiny is going to help out as well. They are now finally taking the site. JNT, the player who opened up this round for his team, is going to be taken out by a nade, and now it's a 2 versus 3 on the retake as somehow Paquetá take what was, you know, a little bit of a mess of a round at the start for them into their favor.
Okay, we'll play with 1 though, and they will have to go for this retake, Sharks. I mean, they have a defuse kit, they have some utility available. This is one that you really have to go for and try and stop the rot of Paquetá. The 2 opening AWP frags really got them underway. But Paquetá answering back, thanks to David, Destiny, and Kagatex with those grenades coming in. A smoke in toward ramp, there's a little bit of a gap in it, but David just going to advance past it. Destiny gets the first, and he gets the second as well. He's been insane so far for Paquetá on this final map. 12 and 5. That's a big round from him once again to now put Paquetá in the lead. That is 6 rounds in a row now.
Yeah, very, very solid lead for Paquetá. I mean, I say solid lead. They're only ahead by 1, but it's more the, you know, the mental lead, I guess. The fact that they've won 6 in a row, that is so mentally taxing in a 3rd map of a best of 3 where you just had to claw back the victory on map 2 to even get here. I'm sure Sharks are really starting to feel, you know, a little bit of some wear and tear on their mental, and also a little bit of tiredness. I mean, they start off great, and I'm sure their morale is high, and then 6 in a row, they're like, oh man, I just really want to get this over with at this point. And that's definitely going to affect play.
After Paquetá took map 1 in the fashion they did, you know, you would have expected, maybe in their mind, okay, we might have a nice, refreshing, quick game here, but Sharks managed to just nab Nuke away, and now, you know, we've been playing for, you know, almost 3 hours, of course, including breaks, so it's going to be interesting to see if Sharks can respond. Paquetá have put in a good shift here to keep this streak going, and they're going to have plenty of economy for basically the rest of this half. It's Sharks who are under pressure, and already Pank down low does just manage to nab the frag away, but again, it's rough.
Yeah, and Reelson is actually going to immediately get contact on B. He sees all of the players running over, so he's going to be able to calm to his team. Hey, this site's about to get taken, and there it is. David finds the kill, dropping down from Van to find that kill. And oh, the molly is going to keep them completely out of the site. All players retaking from the exact same angle is going to make this damn near impossible, and we are already going to see them start to back off. This is a save from Sharks, a 4 versus 4 save, as that B site is completely locked down. Nothing they can do.
Yeah, I mean, again, you just can't afford to do that. You can't afford to, you know, retake that site. I mean, look, they don't even have a defuse kit, so you know, you retake that situation, maybe, or I'd say possibly 2 in 10, something like that, and it's not a risk you can afford to take. In a situation like this, they need to save these guns for the next round and go again. Pank, of course, has managed to upgrade to an AK, so that is good. Zevi, 11 and 4. He's not really had much to do since he had that fast early start. This has been a rough one for Sharks in the last 7 rounds. Paquetá basically figured them out very quickly, it feels like.
Yeah, definitely looking really solid. I think they know that as long as they take a site together, they can get a lot of the trades. I think the early rounds that Sharks were winning were a lot of, you know, nice picks in mid, a lot of nice spray downs from one player. So Paquetá realized, like, hey, as long as we're flashing into the site, we're usually going to find like, you know, only 1 or 2 people on the same angle. As long as we can take down 1, trade 1, only lose a player or 2, we're going to be winning a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, but I would say, you know, with a couple of rounds left in this half, Paquetá looking to take this one to guarantee a lead going into the second half. This is going to be a critical one. Straight through the smoke, and David, look at the pinch. They had no chance, JNT. And the spray through the smoke is doing so much damage. The grenade could easily finish off a play here. It takes Pank down to 23. Destiny is also lurking next to this smoke. He could easily pop up and take down the low HP Pank, but Zevi spots him. That makes it a 4 versus 3. David, though, is on top of the default box. Gets another headshot. The trades are quick. The trades are fast. And Nithon will finally get stopped by Zevi. Now it's all down to Kagatex. The bomb is planted, but he gets wallbanged by Zevi. That is a big round from Zevi. First time we've seen him pop up in quite a few. Big 4K. They can get the defuse and recover the double AWP as well.
Yeah, stellar round from Zevi, especially the last kill, swinging wide and finding the kill through the box. That is a very, very nice one to find, but that is exactly what Sharks needed. That saves their economy from the brink of utter destruction. They are still a little bit wonky going into this one economy-wise, but they're able to drop over a rifle 2 reels in, so they are able to get all the guns they need here. In fact, they are going to get the double op out. JNT rocking that one again. He definitely found a really strong start to one of those past rounds with the op. They did unfortunately lose that, but the early peak coming through from JNT was definitely a solid one, so I'm excited to see more of him on the op.
That really was critical to stay in touch as well. I mean, we're going to have a double AWP still, as I mentioned too, and there's some fast mid aggression. Look at that pinch from Connector and from short as well. Luca will get an opener, and because of that, Paquetá, they've spotted the amount of players in that position. They're going to go straight fast in toward B. David just jumps straight out, no hesitation. He's getting pressured from about 2 different angles. So he's up close with the AWP, and he'll quick scope him up close. Big frag to take. Gigartex now on the site. I'm not sure if he's been heard that he's already down. Wilson isn't aware of it, but Zevi is doing more fragging right now. Look where Gigartex is. He's stuck between 2 different angles. He's on your right, my friend, and Reelson spots him first. Zevi with another 3K, and we're even going to the final round of the half.
That is a crazy adjustment from Sharks. They immediately, I mean, it seems like they exactly figured out what they were missing. I couldn't even tell you what it is that they've changed. It just feels like they're hitting their shots now. I do think that the aggression towards mid was nice. They realized that a lot of their mid aggression was working out, usually catching one of these Paquetá players off guard. And even if they don't catch a player off guard, they get information that mid either is or is not being taken. So that was a very good call for whoever is IGLing the side of the Sharks. But Paquetá, they are going to fight for this mid control yet again, and pretty hard this time. 4 players in mid, and Sharks are just going to go ahead and give this up as they've already found the opener towards B.
Yeah, this is hard props to the AWPs of Sharks right now. Getting that double AWP setup has really worked for them, but now Zevi has finally been put down by Destiny. He's been so fantastic for Paquetá on this T side. Finally traded by Pank and traded cleanly by Pank as well. No damage taken, which means he's eager to go in for a reface, and he will take Gartex down. That drops the bomb towards short. That's a lot of information for the CT side, but look at Nithon jumping straight into one window, at least faking it anyway. That is, not sure if he actually meant to make the jump, but it doesn't matter because Wilson's just going to blindside him. So it's all down to IDK and a 1 versus 3 to end off this half.
Yeah, and they are just jump peeking this purposely. It is a good first pick from IDK, but has to be careful. Make sure he isn't swung by Pank, and that Molly will make sure that doesn't happen. The bomb is not even in his hand yet, so he has to go retrieve this, and Pank is going to go ahead and get the perfect drop down. The timing could not have been better for Pank, and that is an 8th for Sharks. They win the half just at the last second.
Yeah, a big round from Pank at the end, though. That evens up his scoreline to 8-8 as well. So it's a good confidence building round for him. But yeah, I would say 100% that half for Sharks. They won it out thanks to Zevi and thanks to a bit of magic from JNT as well. I mean, Zevi is 18-5. Sure, he had a lot of saves, but still, it's he had a lot of impact frags as well. So it won't be too long before we get the second half underway. The final half of today to decide who gets themselves through to that main event in DreamHack Open. Rest in peace, September.
Yeah, definitely both of these teams really battling for that qualifier spot. Of course, the loser of this game is not out of it just yet. They will be falling down to the lower bracket to face off against SWS Gaming, who we saw play earlier today against Isurus. Another very, very entertaining match that went, I believe that one also went all 3 maps, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is correct. I remember now that we did see all 3. So a lot of banger matches today, and that one tomorrow is most likely going to be a banger match as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a few other matches around the grounds right now in this region too. I mean, Pain Gaming right now, also a Brazilian roster, are playing against Extra Salt in the Blast Premier qualifier. So, you know, there's plenty of other interest in the scene from the South America region. But right now, we are right here, and we are waiting to see who can qualify. It is a big slot to take for either one of these two teams. Of course, they are, you know, a little bit lower in the tier of the South American teams, the Brazilian rosters. I would say there are just about, you know, I wouldn't say worse, but they're just like one tier below, possibly breaking through. Because we've seen some great stuff from rosters such as Paquetá, Sharks, Have Liberty as well. We've casted, and we've seen some really quality Counter Strike. So it could either some of these players, some of these new players coming through, could easily be players you see on bigger rosters in the future.
Yeah, there's definitely players I could see moving up to play on teams that play on a higher level. Definitely names like David come to mind. He's having a little bit less of a amazing game here on Mirage, at least so far, but he put in so much work throughout the entire qualifier that I think he's allowed to have a quiet game or two. I honestly, I think
David's only 21, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. He can definitely appear on some of these higher teams. I mean, there's just a lot of players. There's so much potential, I feel like, in a lot of these teams as well. I think a lot of the rounds where you see something sloppy, it's just maybe one conversation with the coach away from being fixed.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. It's sort of a situation now where both teams, obviously 8-7, that just literally can't be separated. And yeah, it's an interesting one for many reasons, mainly because for me, if whoever wins out this CT side, if Paquetá get off to a decent run on this CT side, they've shown they can make a run, right? In previous maps in this series, they've shown they can, keep a streak going. It's not going to be, staying stuck together like they have been basically the whole time. So if they can get a good start, then I would favor them. But Sharks on the T side of Mirage, I would. It's difficult. I would put a slight favor, and already JNT deploying his utility toward middle will get stopped by Destiny, and Destiny's to go straight in though. Go for the duels, no holds barred. And we'll take the first shot toward JNT. That drops a Molotov as well on the ground.
Yeah, and this is an all-out brawl towards mid. Lukosi is going to trade one back, and Zevi will find another, but they are just, running back and forth at each other all the way into the B site. This is a good flank from Kagatex, but no kill from it. Yes, Destiny will find one and will get taken down by Pank, and now it's all onto Kagatex in this 1 versus 2. Decent damage onto Pank, but can they find anything else? They could swing out to the 9th plant, but no. Decide to instead play it a little slow and look for these last two players.
5 HP though on Pank. Kagatex is really desperate to go for this. He has a smoke and a kit, but it's not going to matter when you're solo HP, and Luca finds him. So after that opening pick from Destiny, I am impressed that Sharks have recovered that situation. It seemed like it was going to be mostly in their favor, but pistol rounds can always swing back in your favor quicker than you expect, and swing away from your favor quicker than you expect. So that will put Sharks up to 9 rounds, and now it'll be a force buy. If they can get past this force buy, they're going to have probably around a 4-round lead to work with.
Yeah, they are in a very, very solid position economically to really take a lead. Also, I just wanted to say Destiny. I was just reading the names on the page. I'm like a little bird. My brain gets confused very easily, but Destiny is having a really stellar game, really kind of the main driving force behind the entire Paquetá side right now. And now it's going to be David, one of the top players for Paquetá, tested on the B side in a quick fall. Kagatex is good for a trade back, but that is it as they do fall to Pank. Zevi is looking for the kill onto Nithon, but Nithon is good for one, and Destiny takes a player down in mid as well. Lukosi is dropped, and that's an AK retrieved as the bomb will go down.
That was a beautiful frag from Destiny. He can cover that AK straight away. A boost towards short bricks immediately could easily give them a chance in this round. Up against an AK, and there's Pank. Now it's all down to Destiny, the hero of the game, as you said so far. Can he do anything about this? It's in a 1 versus 2. They know where Pank is. I'm not sure he knows where JNT is, though. And already he's looking like he wants to back up. Of course, they can only have this AK into the next round, so they're not going to be able to buy. So it would be kind of an important save to give them a chance in the next one. But he's waiting for exits. Wins the duel against the Mac 10. Almost wins it against the AK. But Pank will seal it. 4 kills on the round for Pank. And it puts him up to 13 and 8. He's starting to join his teammates now at the higher end of the leaderboard.
Yeah, Pank has been really solid throughout the entire best of 3. Not one of the players that is really blowing our minds, but just very consistent when the Sharks need them to be. Always there for very important, kills on site takes, always there for the trade, always there to make sure that your back is being watched. So Pank definitely one of the unsung heroes, I feel like, for this Shark squad.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a role. It's a role, isn't it? He takes on. And he does it to a great effect. Right now, his role is watch Palace. Destiny has got a very cheeky off angle, but Pank checks it. Only one stomach shot hit, and that's obviously one of the main talking points about the Deagle. The fact that stomach shots, are more damage than chest shots, and can make the double spam with the Deagle so effective and so powerful. But I don't have any more Deagles to worry about apart from David, so they should be okay. No, even Kevlar to concern themselves, Sharks. This should be 11th for them. They got 2 Mac 10s still to look to do some farming, of course. They did only survive in that last round with 1 player alive, so it's they're not out of the woods yet when it comes to their economy. If Paquetá do win their first buy round coming up, then that could easily keep it interesting.
Yeah, that definitely could be something for that round, but thing is, for this round, it is pretty much already over. In fact, Sharks are even hunting a little bit, looking like they want to make sure these guns are out of the hands of the Paquetá players, and that's a decent amount of damage on a Nithon, just a little bit, but more damage is being done to JNT as he's hunting this last kill, and there it is. David will fall, and nothing saved into this next. No Deagle saved over, and Paquetá, that's not really too bad for them. They are just going to buy rifles instead.
Yeah, it's no problem at all. I do have Nathan on the AWP, but right now, look at the scoreboard. I mean, 8, 8, 8, 6, and 18. That is quite a difference for Paquetá, and that would worry you going into, the final half of this best of 3. You need everyone to chime in to really make it possible. And it looks like Sharks might want to go in for a fast A play here with the 2 Mac 10s. Already the first Mac 10 goes in. Nithon takes him down with his AWP, but in come the rifles to trade.
Oh, they flash him into under, but completely blind. Lukozy cannot complete the kill, and this is starting to fall apart for the side of Sharks. There is a little bit of damage on the Nithon, but trying to find this player through the smoke, and there it is. The shot connects, and now it's Pank all alone. We were talking about how he's been a little bit of an unsung hero for this squad. He's been a little bit of the solid player that keeps the team together, but can he be the clutch master that they need him to be in this round? The Molly is going to force a player out from under. That is going to force IDK into a different position, but Pank, will he be ready for this slow flank coming through? Or will it even get there in time before his teammates find the kill?
Pank is now just turned around as well, but I don't think David is going to budge. There's no reason for him to do so. They know that he's locked them in toward a ramp, but with IDK on 2 HP, somehow, I have no idea how he stayed alive in that situation. He was grenaded, he was mollied, he was spammed down inside a smoke, and still is alive in this round. That is not something that will probably be repeatable. It's could easily still go in Pank's favour. Just that 2 HP I mentioned. I think he'll should see the shadow toward default. There's the information. IDK refuses to peek. Then only 30 seconds to go, and the flank is getting ever closer. He'll jump into the clutches of David.
Oh, no bullets
in the clip. Yeah, only 2 bullets, I think, for that duel. So David will take him down comfortably, and Paquetá get an all-important 8th.
Yeah, that is, I mean, a little scary there at points for Paquetá. The first explosion maybe looks like the utility would block off all their angles, but honestly, just really, really solid opping to lock down the site was what brought them that victory, and then Pank just laying the inevitable at the end there. But Sharks are still able to buy into this round, so it's not completely said and done for them. They could still fire back with a round of their own and break the economy of Paquetá yet again.
Yeah, it would be fascinating to see how Paquetá deal with, these sort of rounds, because if Sharks win this one, I would say Paquetá's economy are broken. If Paquetá wins this one, I would say Sharks' economy is broken. So it's a swing round, as I like to call them. And at the moment, Sharks are taking it very slowly indeed. Bomb toward T-Spawn still. Some grenades will now be primed with around 1:15 to go. And Pank waiting in Palace once again. We've seen him in this role all the time, looking to maybe pounce and wait for a rotation as a player runs away toward B or runs away toward middle. Can always be such a powerful place to play to catch a player off guard.
Yeah, and these smokes do come through. They will cut off top of connector, but Destiny, he's already deeper into connector, and that smoke, there it is. That's the smoke they were waiting on to make sure that he can't get anything done. The Molly might force him out as well. It does get extinguished, and he's actually going to make his way into the Molly's extinguished flames to find the first kill onto Lukozy, and that is going to be a good opener. Nithon also trying to sneak through mid as well, see if he can find any of these players off guard. Reelson is going to go ahead and trade one back, just caught in the smoke. Destiny was fully blind, and Reelson just sees him a little bit earlier than he does, and I thought he's going to be good for one, but Reelson trades that as well, and now it's the 3 versus 3 onto the bomb site.
David has managed to creep his way through Murder Hole, so he's got a bit more control. Zevi is toward connector, waiting for some more rotations, and in comes some utility, doing a little bit of chip damage. That's a lovely frag from David. Zevi out of the round. That was so fast from David. And now 3v2 for Paquetá on the retake. It can still be a difficult one. Rilzen is toward jungle, so there could have to be a problem to clear him out, but no. IDK finds him. Genty gets 2 on the spray, though. Now it's all down to David. This has been a fantastic spray from Genty. Can he complete the round? Or David, he just about gets away with it and wins an all-important ninth for Paquetá. That is just 8 or 19 HP, sorry, away from going down. That's 1 bullet, a slight whiff from JNT. He could have easily hit that final bullet because it wasn't a clean kill from David. That could be the difference between a close game and a runaway for Sharks.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just heartbreaking for JNT that he's not able to pull that back right at the end. Also, a little bit of a misplay coming through from some of the players on Sharks, just maybe going for some peeks they really didn't need to. I think they were worried they were going to get pressured from a couple different angles, but it does not come through at the end there. The peek doesn't come through, at least, so they ended up peeking completely for naught at the end, and it kind of cost them the round.
Back down to pistols, so it should be problematic, but okay. Oh, this is dangerous. Now, Lucas has somehow managed to get one on the Tech 9. Now, it's all down to David toward B. Short is exposed, so is the B apartments. He needs more. Oh, David, that is an insane spray control from him. I think that was the last bullet to catch the head of that third player, and that has completely recovered the situation. Once again, David is a hero. I don't know how many times I've put the word David and hero or king in the same sentence, but it's been a lot. And now it's down to Lucchese in a 1 versus 2. He's got the first. It would be a 1v3 in total and a 4K, but the bomb is in CT hands.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult for Lucchese. He knows that there's most likely some sort of, crosshair trained on his position right here, and it is going to be Nithon with the crosshair and the kill. So a 10th for Paquetá, now only 1 round between them and an even scoreline. And Sharks, their economy is going to give them another bye at least, but it's not a perfect bye. They are very much on the edge of being broken yet again. So Paquetá, if they can win this, they tie up and look at a 12th.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if David doesn't get that spray control on the third player, it actually could easily get out of hand. So, now again, we saw 19 HP the difference for David in the previous round. Now 1 bullet, perhaps the difference in this one. Maybe could have recovered his rifle as well. So, pretty remarkable. David cam is one of the best things to be on when you watch Paquetá gaming. And now we get to see Sharks with their 5 AK-47s. Paquetá have recovered the situation a little bit better than I expected. I thought Sharks might run away with this one in the situation they found themselves in, but now this is quite literally anyone's game.
Yeah, this is really coming down to the wire again and again. We've seen this already a few times. We saw it on the previous map, and now on this map, it just keeps getting closer and closer. Looks like Sharks maybe want to end towards the A site here. They do still have a minute to completely move around the map with, so they don't have to end here if they don't want to. They are still also fighting for that mid control, and as of right now, they have a decent amount of mid control. There's no players from the side of Paquetá really fighting back.
Yeah, Pang is holding the angle towards the stairs, waiting to be peeked. Now chucking his Molotov toward jungle, so he is a bit of a decoy, though, because there are 2 in connector, 2 in palace. It's going to be the biggest A split in history from 3 different angles. There are 2 players in CT, 1 in jungle. How will Paquetá deal with this?
Yeah, that's a good start from David to find one, but Lucchese is flashed in for the peek, and Zevi kills Lucchese with a team molly, hits him in the chest with it, and it will cost them the round. JNT is only good for 1 at the end, but Paquetá, they are able to take home the 11th.
That is another incredible, unusual situation. So far in this game. I mean, that's just, you can't account for the Molotov spreading and catching your teammate there. That is unfortunate.
Well, it wasn't even the spread, the Molotov.
The contact, yeah, and then falling to the feet, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's just super unfortunate, but it happens. And now, suddenly, again, Paquetá is in a situation where if they can deal with pistols, they're back in the lead again.
That is, I mean, yeah, that's a crazy round to take home. I mean, it wasn't that crazy, all things considered. It was just the one thing that we were able to catch that went awry for that take, made it look pretty crazy, but it was a pretty run-of-the-mill sight hold. David just doing his David thing, finding a couple kills there, I believe, and locking down the site along with his teammates. And Sharks, yeah, they just can't seem to stabilize, especially on those A takes. Their A takes always seem a little bit sloppy, at least when it's a full site exec. It's a little bit better when it's later into the round. They get on site there, but as of right now, they are definitely in a difficult position.
You can go straight for the Molotov though with the pistols again. Pressure for Paquetá to make this one clean. David gets another headshot, second as well. He will get taken down, and David will get traded as well. They might have the site, but Destiny was here to as insurance policy. Now it's all down to JNT. Has picked up an AK-47. Could go for the clutch. One taps Destiny. There was only one bullet left in the clip there. Now in a 1 versus 2, will get finished off by Nython. Cullen, that reminds me. I don't know if anyone remember this, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Long time ago. CS Summit, I believe. Scream, making his way through the apartments, realizes he has one bullet in the clip, goes for the duel anyway, one taps someone toward bench. That's almost a carbon copy reminder of, having one bullet and hitting the one tap.
Yeah,
that is... brain there straight away.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it gives Paquetá a lead.
Yeah, that is not a fight I expected to go his way. I saw that, honestly, the fact that he took so much time, he swings out and took the time, the effort to really wait for that. Also, I'm sorry, what? Lukosi goes for the jump boost across mid and then just sprays into the smoke and immediately finds the head of David. The fact that it was a jump boost, doesn't even... It didn't net them to kill. It was literally just a crazy spray. But, hey, David's out of the round now. He's been a monumental part of the winning streak for Paquetá Gaming. He's gone from, I believe it was 8 kills to 18 kills in the span of a couple of rounds. So the man who was really making it happen for the side of Paquetá is now out of this one.
It's funny, he has little streaks, doesn't he? Like, he can have a bit of a slow game, and be like 8 to 14, something like that for a score for a while. And then suddenly you have a streak of 2 or 3 rounds where he gets critical frags. Our reels him with another really important entry. He checks Destiny hard as well. No chance for Destiny. Luca taking Kigartex should mean this is a Sharks round, and again, neither team can pull away from each other.
This is, neck and neck, about as close as it gets. Finally, when Paquetá find their first lead on this map in a very long time, immediately it's answered back finally by Sharks, who had a string of rounds go awry for them, and finally they seem to have figured out what they need to do. It's just quite simple. It's jump boost into mid, shoot a player through a smoke, one tap his head, and then just instantly pre-fire on peaks, like 3 players dead. Pretty easy stuff.
Yeah, no, IDK will have to try and save that AK because it will be a pretty big save. Of course, the fact that Paquetá had a number of close rounds mean that they have not built up an economy. He's towards CT, but he gets taken out immediately by Pank. Pank doing another good job, clearing that rifle away, and look at that money. It is nowhere. Gartex is even double eco, which makes me interested to see whether they might go in for a force buy perhaps, but I doubt it. One full eco will probably give them a buy in the next. So 12 all. 1 map all. Overtime? Question mark.
Oh, I don't know if we can do that. What time is it for you right now? It's probably close to 3 or 4 a.m.
It's 3:40 in the morning.
There it is. A good casual time. A good casting time, I would say.
It's not 4:25 yet. If it gets to 4:25, I will have broken the record for sure.
Is that the record from last night?
It is, yeah. It's like 31-29, and then the other 25-21 or whatever it was, and then a best of 3 going to a decider, etc., etc. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of a late night for both of us, but maybe this one will be a little bit shorter. It all really comes down to these
late
next.
Night for you?
Well,
don't talk to me. Come on. I'm the one going up to 4 a.m. Just SMH, dude. Oh my god.
I get tired. It's 10 p.m. I'm hungry.
Fair enough. Food is important.
Oh, that's a lot of information. I'm surprised they didn't just immediately back off mid. They are starting to back up, but they're like, hey, 5 of them are in mid right now, and they're deciding to get a little warm with the molly in mid as well. So they're like, hey, just run into A site. You should get it for free. The flash doesn't come through, and so it's a little bit dangerous. Reelsin will trade back, and Pank is good for 1 as well, but they have to be a little bit careful here. They don't want to give away any easy kills to these pistols.
Yeah, they're going to be fine, I think. In the end, it was just the 5 USPs. They decided to take the pain here, Paquetá. And it's a bit of a tough situation for them because, again, I mentioned Kagatex, he was double eco, but none of his teammates were. So he has to take the pain and go for a FAMAS in this round, while his teammates get the M4s and the AUGs. No AWP available, which has been such an important factor for this roster. But when you have Destiny who can headshot people with the AUG, it should be still a great chance. But Young Sharks, I would say, they're in the best chance they could possibly be in able to take this series, because if they could take this round, they should have an almost guaranteed 15.
Yeah, Sharks also being kind of the underdog going into this, especially after map 1. I definitely will keeping an eye. Oh, God, Lukozy, that was a beautiful shot. He's also going to get peeked from a couple different angles, but he is alive, at least for now. I was going to say the Sharks are a little bit of the underdogs going into this, at least when you look at the bookmakers' statements, as well as the chat, at least a little bit. So they're really proving some people wrong with their performance right now on this third map, especially after a really quiet Dust 2.
Yeah, that's another very opening pick for Luca. I think he's had quite a few in this game. He's up to 24 and 16. I think he's had a number of really impactful entries. Pank has done, the dirty work, getting some, important frags mid-round and late round. But Luca has had so many openings, which have really given Sharks the possibility to keep themselves close to Paquetá. And we are eventually shifting our way back toward the A site. 3 toward ramp, 1 in Palace. That is Pank, his favorite position. And IDK will look to try and defend.
Yeah, only 1 player on site. There is Nithon there to help at least a little bit. But as they take over the site, there's only so much Nithon can do, and it's a little bit harder to get something done with a bullet in your head. So Nithon, he's not going to be able to support very well. IDK, though, he is hidden perfectly here. And Reelson, he's going to peek into CT, find one, can't quite find the second, as Lukozy does find Kagatex, and somehow IDK is still alive on the side. He finds one, but he can't find anything else. JNT will finally put an end to IDK's life on the A site, and Sharks, they find a 14th, only 2 rounds away from taking the entire series and qualifying for the main event.
Honestly, I feel like IDK, he might be a little bit, sheepish after that round, and maybe his teammates might be a bit upset with him because he's a player toward default. He shoulder peeks ramp. He gets information that 1 player has come out. Then he right-clicks his smoke down, and basically that gives Reelson the opportunity to advance way past a position that I think IDK's teammates expected, especially Nithon, and gets the frag toward connector, then just pushes straight towards CT, and IDK doesn't know anything about it because he smoked himself off. So that is maybe a little bit too defensive, a little bit too careful from IDK in that scenario. Now they just have the Deagle to go up against this buy of Young Sharks. Again, it'll be toward A. Can he make up for it in this one? He's trying to make a few headshots work with the Deagle, but again, spam down, and Destiny's low as well. That's the 3 HP. He can't be found. All the grenades are coming in. This should be 15.
Yeah, this is, already pretty much over. Of course, it was only the pistols for Paquetá. They decided to play for overtime, so they didn't really expect to win this one, but that was a very good take from the side of Sharks. They stiffed out the 2 players on site perfectly, and then found, I believe it was Nithon trying to swing as well, and now these last 2 players, they just don't know what to do. There's really no way for them to get back into this, and I love that Sharks are really comfortable taking it slow. They know it's only pistols left. They know that they could probably take this if they just swung, but they don't want to even risk it.
Yeah, they're just making absolutely sure, being methodical in this situation, because shots like that can be hit. Gartex on the 5-7 does get 1. But now on 17 HP, 30 seconds to go. That time should not be a problem. They can kill the bomb safely. The spray will come in to mask some of those footsteps as they grab the bomb and plant it safely. So Gartex will have to try and at least get 1 more, but he can't. Luca finds him. And now, Cullen, we've reached the stage where Sharks have 3 points to make it through to the main event. Can they pull it through, or do we have another overtime in our books?
It could go either way. The thing is that Paquetá, even if they win this next round, if they win with 1 or 2 players alive, it's going to really hurt their economy going into the next. So Sharks, even if they don't win on this one, they can still go for the next. They can still go on, Paquetá's 13 win round, and their economy is so amazing that they can buy into every single one of these rounds. Paquetá, they are in a fully uphill battle here. They have to not only win, but win decisively in all of these rounds to keep their economy saved. And even then, they're never going to break the Sharks' economy. So they have to win against full buys every single time. David, he's going to be tested first. A full flash is going to make him fully blind. And that's a player out towards the site. Kagatex is good to turn around, but quick trades from Pank and Reelson leave the site completely open for the bomb to go down.
This could be it. That was an insane B-hop from Reels, and he just B-hopped right out the apartments, got so far past the site before anyone on Paquetá was expecting it, and now it's all down to Nython. He's on a glass cannon AWP to try and win out this 1 versus 3 and keep the dream alive for Paquetá. This should be Sharks' game. What can he do in this situation? Pank is low HP, so is Reelson, but JNT is full, and you don't have a diffuser kit. You don't have any armor. What can you really do? He's crept up nicely. Unexpected position, perhaps. They'll get shot in the back by JNT, and that is a deserved victory for Sharks after losing the first map in the way they did.